Life in prehistoric times was rough. Not only did these creatures have to deal with harsh weather conditions and hunger, they also had to look over their shoulders for fear of being ambushed by a ferocious lurker that could drag them down into its gaping jaws. This creature was not a dinosaur, but rather a type of marine reptile that lived during the age of dinosaurs. And it was one of the most fearsome predators in the world. It was massive, powerful, and merciless. Its teeth alone were enough to make any living thing tremble in fear. With 200 million strong jaws, it was ready to devour any prey that crossed its path. Today, we'll be talking about this scary monster and many more, so stay tuned till the end. If you love videos about prehistoric monsters, then subscribe to my channel so you never miss an upload. So let's dive into the topic. The ferocious lurker. The oceans that covered our planet millions of years ago were home to all kinds of sea monsters, from giant squid-like creatures to enormous fish. But none of them were as terrifying as the pliosaurs. These monstrous reptiles were perfectly adapted for life in the water, and they ruled the seas with an iron fist, or should I say, claw. They had paddle-like flippers that allowed them to swim with ease, and their huge tails propelled them through the water at incredible speeds. Their bodies were like torpedoes, streamlined and deadly, and their snouts were long and narrow, perfect for catching prey off guard. But what really set these beasts apart were their jaws. They were massive, powerful, and lined with rows upon rows of sharp, serrated teeth that could easily tear through flesh and bone. These jaws were so strong that they could crush a human skull like an eggshell, and when they clamped down on their prey, there was no escape. The pliosaurs were the ultimate ocean predators, and they knew it. They would often deliberately stalk their prey, taking their time to get just the right angle for the kill. Once they had their sights set on a meal, though, there was no mercy. They would attack with lightning-fast speed and tear their prey apart in seconds. No matter what other animals roamed the land, the pliosaurs were the true kings of the prehistoric seas, and they wouldn't have it any other way. Meet the pliosaur. The Pliosaurus was a kind of marine reptile known as a sauropterygian, which means that it was related to both the plesiosaurs and the ichthyosaurs. Fossils of this creature have been found all over the world, from South Africa to Switzerland to the United States, and they've revealed just how massive these beasts really were. The largest species of pliosaur, the Pliosaurus funkei, could grow up to 33 feet long and weigh over 44,000 pounds. That's longer than a Tyrannosaurus rex and heavier than a blue whale. Despite their huge size, the pliosaurs were incredibly agile in the water. They could swim at speeds of up to 22 miles per hour, and they could even chase down and catch fast-moving prey like fish. The pliosaur's head alone was about 6 feet long, and it was armed with an array of terrifying weapons. First, there were the jaws. They were lined with dozens of razor-sharp teeth that were perfect for catching and tearing up prey. But the pliosaurs didn't just rely on their teeth to do the dirty work. They also had a set of strong, sharp claws on each of their flippers that they could use to slash and hook their victims. And finally, there were the eyes. The pliosaur's eyes were huge and terrifying, and they were set high up on its head, giving it a great view of its surroundings. They say that the eyes are the windows to the soul, but if that's true, then the pliosaur's soul was pure evil. But what did the pliosaur actually eat? Well, given its size and power, it's not surprising that it was an apex predator. It ate almost anything it wanted, including fish, squid, crustaceans, and even other marine reptiles. In fact, the pliosaur was one of the main reasons why the ichthyosaurs went extinct. It was literally eating them out of the water. The pliosaur's reign of terror lasted for millions of years, but eventually it, too, went extinct. We don't know exactly why this happened, but it's probably because the pliosaur was too big for its own good. It needed to eat huge amounts of food to survive, but as the Earth's climate changed, there was less and less food available for it to eat. Eventually, it simply starved to death. It's hard to say what the Pliosaur's impact on our world would have been if it hadn't gone extinct. But one thing is for sure, it would have been a force to be reckoned with. The oceans would be a much different place today if the Pliosaur was still around. The Pliosaur's legacy. The Pliosaur may be extinct, but its legacy lives on. There are several species of Pliosaur named after famous people, such as Mads Mikkelsen, Hannibal Lecter, and Stephen King. The Pliosaur has also appeared in a number of movies and TV shows, including The Land Before Time, The Simpsons, and Friends. In addition, the Pliosaur has inspired works of art, from paintings to sculptures to tattoos. Some people even have Pliosaur-themed bedrooms. Clearly, the Pliosaur is still popular today, and for good reason. It was a truly terrifying creature that had no natural enemies. It was also highly intelligent and was capable of planning ahead and using tools. If that doesn't make you afraid, then nothing will. What do you think? How scary was this beast? Tell us in the comments below. Also, if you liked the video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos about prehistoric monsters. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.